Well, church family, as we close the service today, I'd like to take just a moment and I want to give you an update about a proposal that the church council and the elders are bringing before the congregation for consideration. From the first moment that I started to get to know all of you and talk with all of the leaders that are here, it has always stood out to me that this is a place full of gifted leaders. I love to see how God works through this church to do amazing things. When I arrived 10 months ago and have had the opportunity to sit down with various ministry leaders and talk with them about how things are going, there's a consistent need that kept rising to the surface over and over again. And it was a need for clarity. Because while we have very strong ministry leaders and a wonderful church council and discerning elders, we've been lacking clarity about how those groups function together. Who makes which decisions, and how do we make sure that we're all moving in a unified direction together? I learned that the elders and the council have been talking about that need for clarity and clarifying our structure for many years, that it's not a new conversation around here. And as I joined in these conversations, I shared my experience that many congregations in the Church of God are having this exact conversation. And many congregations are revising their church bylaws in order to bring some clarity to their structure. And all of that is for one reason, so that we can be as effective as possible in our mission. So our church council and our elders decided in unity earlier this year to appoint a bylaws committee, and this committee has been working diligently, I'm going to tell you, many hours. Very detailed conversations. I'm looking at some of those people right now. They're nodding their heads, combing through copies of bylaws from other churches and creating a draft for us here, something that reflects our own congregation. And so we want you to know that a bylaws proposal is now being presented to all of you. And this is something that we really want to talk about together. We want to take time to process it. We want your input on this. Now, all the key documents are available in a couple of different ways. One is you can go on our website and digital copies of everything are available right there, almacog.org/bylaws. That link is also listed in your worship folder, so you can find it right there. You don't have to write it down. If you would like paper copies, we have those available today. They're in the church library, and you can pick them up and take them home. You'll see a copy of our current bylaws. You'll see a copy of the proposed bylaws for adoption. And then you'll also find a document that's a frequently asked questions. And if nothing else, if you'd at least read through that document, that will tell you more about the story of this, why it matters, and what the process has been that's a part of this. We also have even more documents there with comparative notes between the two sets of bylaws. If you want to get really detailed, we can help you do that. Now, we have 3 meetings coming up, and I want to encourage you to take time to join us for one of these meetings on June 10th, June 20th, and June 23rd. And this will be our time for discussion and dialogue together. So if you would check your calendar and plan to join us for one of those. There's a lot more that we want to tell you about this process, and we'll have time to unpack that at these meetings. We're excited to tell you about ways that we believe that our already strong ministries will be able to partner together in growing collaboration because of this. And we're excited to tell you about ways that we need all of us to put our shoulders to the wheel and serve for the sake of our mission. There's so much more that we want to tell you about all of this, but I know you want to go to lunch, and so I'm not going to tell you all of that right here, right now. So come to one of these meetings. You can get the whole scoop there. We also want you to know we're planning a congregational vote on these proposed bylaws on July 14th. We will have absentee ballots available and plenty of time for that. If you're not going to be here, we do want everyone's participation in that. Then we'll have our annual business meeting in the month of August, instead of June, as we have often had. That will be in August when we will ratify leaders and approve the budget, and that will all take place so that we have things decided before we move into our new fiscal year, which starts on September 1st. You know, moments like this, in the life of a church family are really important. They're opportunities for us to lean in to conversation. And we want you to know we need and we want your questions and your thoughts. We want to hear from you. We need your voice in this process. And I think that we honor God well when we have engaged and kind conversations together. And I'm so glad that we get to do this together. I'm excited about the ways that I see God at work in and through this place, and I can hardly wait to see what the Lord has for us next.